up your head, pick up your body. Get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on. Get in the car and drive on.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Save Our Podcast. I'm Greg Stone, and I'm here with two legendary friends, Sam Evans. That's where you say something.
Hello.
And my other good friend, Steve Rogers.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Now, if you're listening to this, that means I'm still alive. And it's so happy to be on Earth with two of my friends. How you guys doing, boys?
Good.
I'm
doing great.
Clean?
Yeah, since I started. Anyways.
Do you?
Oh.
Do you want to tell them the idea behind the podcast just up top?
Oh, right. You know, hey, yeah. First of all, just in case you guys want to know, this podcast, Save Our Podcast, save it. We need you. Get out there. Share this thing, because in 6 months, if this thing is not the biggest thing in the world, you're out.
That's not what
We're quit.
We said we're trying to get to 10,000 downloads.
That's what you said, because you're shooting for the Nebraska. I'm shooting for Nebula.
We're trying to clear the bar of 10,000 downloads an episode. If we don't get there in 6 months, this podcast is done.
Yeah.
A solemn vow. Into the ground it goes.
But you don't even know, because this is the 4th episode, and we haven't yet released these. I think we're already past 10,000.
You think so?
I think we already beat it on episode 1. People are so fucking excited about this thing. I'm excited.
This podcast is the only podcast that is listening to you, so you are deciding if it survives or not.
Yeah, it already did.
What if we got
I think.
somehow negative downloads? What if people somehow re-uploaded our podcast and then we were just in the hole?
No receipts. Someone shows up with a receipt to one of the shows and goes, I want my listen back. I want my time back.
Yeah. I actually gave an hour to you guys because I'm not taking one.
Yeah, they make us be like, you need to, they just annoy us after a show for an hour and then go, that's me getting my time back. Because that's what you did to me.
It's an hour-long conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm out of ideas.
Isn't it unfortunate that never mind, I'm not going to say
Say it.
It
Can't?
Well, it sounds mean. There are some people that are like comedy fans who don't have like certain social graces. So they come to shows and they're great audience members, and then afterwards they talk for a long time.
But none of them are listening right now.
No, never.
I hate when you're doing crowd work. This is something I don't know how to explain to people. And like you ask them a question and then they just take their fucking time. I was like, is anyone here married? And like a lady will be like, well, I'll tell you this. I've been in a relationship for 6 years and we're thinking about getting married, but I don't know where it's going to go. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I had 15 minutes.
Do you think that person has a fantasy that in that moment people will start laughing and they'll be like, I knew I should do comedy?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely think those people exist, but I don't know what that person, the verbose, is that a right
Verbose
word? The verbose person is thinking when they're taking forever to respond. High out of their brains?
Maybe.
Maybe they're high out of their brains.
High out of their brains.
Yeah.
Your intro reminded me of something when you said, if you're listening to this, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I kind of want to record videos to be played at my funeral.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I want to, but it's like me going like, hey, you came. And like, it's almost like just a video. Of
You go, ooh, who invited that guy?
yeah.
Ooh.
And then when it's quiet, they hit play and I go, what, somebody die in here?
I wanted mine to be
Of
like...
course, Caitlin would have to have the soundboard. But
Ooh, you think Caitlin's going to die before you're going to outlive Caitlin?
Caitlin said because of our age difference, it works out perfectly. We're going to die around the same time.
No, she's got too much of a temper. She's going
Mine-
to die in a
Yeah,
knife
she's-
fight in a bar. I don't know, I think. I
My
called it.
video, I'd open and be like, thank you for coming. I love you all, except for the statistical 10 of you I hate.
I want to say this, and I don't care. Look, I shouldn't. Someone's going to steal this idea, as people have stolen my ideas before. I know it's true. I'm not going to get into that. I wanted to write a show about a guy who is. It's from the perspective of his child, who his dad died, and he's listening to a podcast of his dad to just learn about his dad. Because if I die, all Calvin has is the Rad Dudecast and Friday Night Greg to find out who I am.
Yeah,
and that
well,
is embarrassing.
If only there was a third
Yeah,
one.
if only there was a third one.
This hasn't been released yet. Something could happen.
Yeah, but we'll be here.
If Calvin goes off Friday Night Greg and the Rad Dude cast, he's gonna be like, people really like my dad, but he was a fucking nut job.
Let me tell you this. If I walk out the door of this episode today, walk over to a grammar school, and just start cutting throats, this podcast is not getting released. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, I think that would get us our $10,000.
The impressions. That's how you get the impressions.
That came out bad, by the way.
What came out bad?
What I just said. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
I just my dad. People like my dad, but he's a fucking nut job. That's not what I meant.
I'm
dad.
bringing that on behalf of
That's
him.
right. Vulnerability.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I said something mean about you, and I didn't mean it to be mean. I love you.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even know what you're saying now.
Oh, okay.
Even on the second time around.
All right,
The
well-
first time I missed
well,
it.
let me just.
I missed it the first time, and the second time I still don't know what you're saying. What did you say?
I was.
And hold
ju-
my hand as you tell me.
It was. I was saying people really like my dad, but he was a fucking nut job because on the Rad
Oh,
Dude cast-
right. Because okay, from his perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But that's actually true, though. I don't think that's a joke.
Sure. I just didn't want you to be hurt.
No, I'm not hurt. I mean, I'm always hurt.
Doesn't matter.
That's
He's
how I-
dead.
Yeah, that's true.
What's hurt?
Yeah.
One last time.
He's dead, and those kids are dead.
Don't laugh at that, Steve. It's not for you. That's my favorite bit.
I do like this bit. At first, that bit made me feel excluded, but now I'm realizing it's more inclusive.
Yeah,
than
it brings
is.
you into every
Yeah,
joke.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it.
Can I open with a story?
Yeah.
Yes.
So last night, this is
What
this.
if we said no?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, and then I'd cry, and then ring the bell.
All right, go ahead.
So I did like a really vulnerable. I did two very vulnerable bits last night.
Sure.
on
On stage.
Gotcha. Well, I talked about fucking a couch.
Oh yeah.
And I usually do that on a podcast, but I won't usually do that.
Didn't we talk about that last episode?
Yes. And I brought it to the stage.
You
Wow.
brought it to the stage.
I brought it to the stage, and I talked about how like that's what real love is. Like your wife being like watching
Love
me
seat.
loves watching me fuck a couch and being like
Make love seat.
make love seat. I just laugh even when I don't even know what you're saying.
He's saying love seat, and then the pun is more like make love seat because you're. Fucking,
Oh, a love seat is in the couch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sectional, more
love
like
this.
sectional.
I like to do sound bits when a joke doesn't go over. Like
The only time I've been on stage with Attell, he had an iced coffee and he kept. No one else could hear it, but he kept moving the straw in and out while he talked to me, and it was the funniest thing. But no one knew why I was laughing.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
So you talked about fucking the couch.
So I do the fucking couch, right? And I get off stage, and this woman is like, she's like a honestly 5'11" blonde, smoking hot blonde, comes up to me and she goes like, "Oh, hope you don't have to go home and fuck that couch tonight." And I was like, "Fuck you, you fucking." I'm like, "Fuck you, you fucking bitch," right? And then we're.
So I'm with you so far.
Caitlin was like, and I was like, it sucks when you do something like kind of vulnerable and funny, and then people want to like, oh, well, yeah. And then Caitlin was like, no, she was hitting on you.
Yeah.
And I went, what? I didn't even think, right? I would have had sex with her.
Yeah.
Ugh, just kidding. I love this adultery bit I'm doing, which again.
That woman also was a couch.
Well, I told my wife also, sorry, this is a quick aside. I told my wife about how I'm doing all these adultery bits. I'm like, she doesn't care. My wife goes, why would you say any of that? She's like, don't do that.
I love that. And it's an ongoing bit. What? That's really hurtful.
I don't like any
I
of that.
love her so much.
Yeah, she really is great.
Caitlin is so good at seeing when someone is being hit on,
Yeah.
and also I think that woman was negging you, right?
See, to me, it's not negging. To me, you're just hurting my feelings. I'm going to fight you. I'll fight a woman in the
I
streets.
totally agree until I started being with this woman,
Yeah.
which that's her only love language is like teasing.
No, I like pausing.
What?
Negging, and there's pausing. Pausing
What's
is
pausing?
you got a gray head of hair, kid. You say something nice
And then
to
you
them.
freeze.
I guess they're called compliments.
Yeah. What's pause?
Pausing.
Pause. Positive.
Oh,
Negative is negative.
Pausing. I thought you meant pausing.
I thought you
like a
meant
pregnant
pausing, too.
pause.
Like you're.
What do you mean, like
freezing.
claws?
No, you
No,
just like
like-
look at the
like a-
person and then just
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like if you were in the middle of a.
What's he doing?
pausing.
No, pausing
Pause.
like it's like a remote.
pause the game, a pause in a conversation.
I've never heard that word in my life.
Pause?
Really?
Pause? Like claws?
P-A-U-S-E. Pause.
I've never. No, I know PAWS.
Greg, you are
And welcome to our first segment. Greg doesn't know that word. Is
Are
the
you lying
podcast
again?
saved
Of course
yet?
I'm lying. It's a hilarious bit. The guy who never heard the word pause.
Of course.
What did you just say
Of
to
course,
me?
it's a hilarious bit.
What else did you say on stage that was really vulnerable?
Oh yeah, what's the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, so there was a bit I've been trying to do. I've been thinking about doing this bit 15 years. Never had the balls to do it. But last night I was like, you ever get
About a guy that has 4 balls.
pause. Clause. Burp. Sorry. What are we doing? What do you want from me? I'm an animal. The story. It's a story about how I grew up like one of the only white kids, and we
In the world.
in a world, yeah, hit him every time. Every time he
I wish Derek was mic'd better because I'm killing him over there.
mic'd Derek.
I said Derek.
That's Derek. You called him Mike.
No, he said
Mike.
he wish he was Mike better.
Don't
This
you
is
dare
another
do an-
bit.
The guy who never heard the word Mike.
Let me talk into this sound.
I wish we had a camera on Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking cool today.
Well, you got
Cool
$5
as
grand.
hell.
We only have one camera here.
Derek, do you want to step on camera really quick? Is that weird?
Yeah, I guess my story will wait, but sure. No, can
We'll
I
put him
show
on camera at the end.
We'll
Keep
put him
it
on. I
going.
don't really care. We already took the pause.
Oh, you're
Oh,
mic'd
perfect.
up?
Yeah, he took the liberty. Just kidding.
Oh man.
So anyway,
Careful, he has 3 swords over there.
I know. So
Why
many
do
swords.
Why do you have so many swords?
You have
Derek?
3 swords.
A bit of violence.
was the bit seppuku?
I love that the little one is for Steve. I like to think he wins a each of
That
us
is
gets
kinda
stabbed.
funny. Yeah, they are proportionately sized for all of us.
Yeah, one has a big dick. Mine. The one. for
Mine's
me.
the big black one.
That's pretty much the same joke I just did.
Yeah.
So I guess to get back to my story, if that's okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. 15 years you've been waiting to do this bit.
No, it's just a story, and the story is about how I I grew up around like a lot of I was like doing white kid, but you all used to say the N word, like the A version, right? And then it's like
then it's fine.
What? That's what it back then. It was fine back then. Where I grew up, it was okay, right? Or maybe that's just where I grew up, but that's how it was. Then I met my first white friend, my friend Mike, who's a doctor now, and he's like, Dr. Mike, great guy. He was like, hey, you guys want to go bowling? And I went, bowling? Y'all A version crazy. And he was like, whoa, dude, you can't say that. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, you can't say that. Like, I know how to say it. You can't. You don't know how to handle it.
You're like,
Sure.
we can say.
My people.
Yeah.
Right? And he went through this whole speech about being like, like, here's why. If the wrong person hears it, it's a whole thing, blah, 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 all that, blah, blah, blah.
I'll go ahead and say he is right.
I'm right.
Yeah.
But then it hit me. I was like, oh, no, man, you're right. And I won't ever say it again. Sure. So I go back to my friends who are the other guys, the not white friends, and my friend Horse, who I don't know if you know this nickname.
He's got a sore throat.
Funny. No, people think it's because he had a big dick, but it's not. He had horrible teeth. Giant protruding teeth.
So they called him
So we used to call him Horse.
That's so mean.
But he got braces, and now his teeth are great, and we still call him Horse. And women think he's got a big dick. And I was like, I don't know if he does or not.
Oh, that panned out.
It did pan out.
pan
The long
out.
game. He played the long game. He never corrected us. 'cause
Never
he knew.
correct a nickname that may inference that you have a big penis.
Well, his brother's nickname was Blubber Bear, which I think was also mean.
Yeah.
Everyone had a really mean nickname, except
What was
me.
yours? Oh.
Well, we're gonna find out. So I go home and I'm like, we're all hanging out, and they were like, "You want to go to Taco Bell?" I was like, y'all dudes want to hit Taco Bell? And they were like, dudes. They immediately saw that I had become a different person, and they started going, dude, okay, very well, sir. Very well, sir. They started calling me sir. My nickname became Sir. It was like,
sounds
would you like
worse.
to go to Patagonia, sir? Like, immediately made me white and just shit on me for the rest of my life because I clearly had changed, and they saw the vulnerability and they destroyed it.
Man.
And so I told that story on stage.
Yeah.
But I don't say the A version. I say the actual N word in the bit. And
Yeah.
it gets weird, but the whole crowd was chanting, like, we love this. We love this.
I started lighting torches and stuff. I think I really found my audience.
Yeah. So I did that, and I did those 2 vulnerable bits. But I was scared to do that joke, and it worked. And I'm like, oh, man, like,
Yeah.
this has got, I'm going to do this again.
I will say I'm glad the woman came over and talked about the couch thing. And
Oh,
I hope you don't have to leave and go.
Go what? Finish the joke, because I don't even
Say
know.
it.
Say it. Say the
Have
N-word.
sex with a
Say it, you
with an
fucking-
A at the end.
Say it,
If
you
you were a
fucking bigot.
If you were a real man, help! Where's Grandpa? Get Grandpa! Get Grandpa over here.
So this bell was originally for when I said, "Well, that's fine," sarcastically about saying it with the A at the end.
Yeah.
I wanted to be clear because if somebody's reading the transcript, it sounds like I said that's okay.
The way any podcast should be consumed
Read.
via transcript. Yeah.
I'll say this: we could have a bell that you ring for every time the N-word would have made the joke funnier.
Well,
Y'all
that bell's
crazy.
going to be on that side of the couch.
Yeah, you can keep that bell, man.
Yeah, we shouldn't have a bell for that. We should have a wah wah.
Okay, so I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
Are we ready to move segments?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess.
How was that? Yeah. Was that a good yeah?
that was a good yeah. How are we doing on time? Does anyone know?
We're not that far in.
We know who's got the time.
Yeah, but I'm a control freak, and I always know.
But this is, we
can't
eliminated some
relax.
controls so you can relax.
By the way, shout out to Grove 34.
Yes, shout
We
out to
record
Grove
at
34
Studios.
in Astoria,
Thanks
New York.
mucho to Derek
Right.
and Rob and
For producing this podcast
Yes.
for free.
Yes. It's weird. They said that they were going to pay us to keep coming.
yeah, and they said they were gonna suck our dicks.
Wow.
Wow, better get my sword. We
hear-
should mention that today
Mm-hmm.
is Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah,
Right.
today's
It is Valentine's Day.
And I have, me and Greg were talking about this before. I think we should we're going to this is Save Our Podcast. We're
Save
going to
Our
save
Podcast.
your relationship right here, right now. Your partner right now, that is not, if they are listening, then that's fine.
Well,
But
just let them know, because this episode came out late. So
yes,
today
this
is not
episode-
Valentine's Day.
Today's Valentine's Day for us, but it's not for you. So today you could go get flowers for your partner
Mm-hmm.
and look like the most romantic person ever.
Right.
Go get Valentine's Day stuff for your partner right now.
After the podcast.
After don't pause. Clause. Don't clause the podcast. That was way better than you guys gave it credit for.
I laughed.
It was fine.
Sam's in the position that the Grove 34 is already doing the dick sucking.
Oh.
I didn't want to say it. I was hoping you would laugh before I had to say
Well,
it.
I didn't get that. Sometimes you got to give me the whole sentence.
Yeah, that's fine.
Why don't you go stand in timeout for a little bit?
What? Anyways, go get stuff for your person.
Yeah, no, I think this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Because right now, today is Valentine's Day. I have done nothing for my wife. It's 12:44. I don't even have an idea of a plan.
Yeah.
So I already fucked this up.
You gotta get some flowers on the way home.
No can do, brother.
Why?
Why?
It's a lot.
What?
She doesn't like flowers.
They're already wrapped.
She doesn't like flowers.
She's not a flowers lady.
Get her some candy.
She's also not a food lady.
She's a nutritionist.
I know.
Get her
I bring her a
some
couple
salad.
apples, and she's like, thanks. I'll get her some apple turnovers. She loves apple turnovers.
Get her apple turnover.
I'll get her some apple turnovers. I'll go to a nice little bakery, and then I'll present her my penis.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, she doesn't like that.
For the turnover part.
I'll get her some apple. What else can I do? All right. Is there a massage? She can't get a massage because she's
Write her a
pregnant and
note.
bones
Write her a
hurt.
letter.
What
I'm
is
telling
she-
you, a letter.
What is
letter.
she like?
It's pretty good, but I got to think. No one knows. I'm with her 15 years. I can't put a pin on anything she's enjoyed.
Yeah, wait, you've been with her as long as you've been thinking about that N-word bit?
She's the one who told me not to do it. Probably saved my career.
I know one thing she likes: common sense. I'm just kidding.
No, that was funny.
Oh yeah, but no.
Don't take away the. I think writing a letter.
Writing a letter? Mm-hmm. What's the most romantic thing you've done for Caitlin?
That's a great question. I think letters have done a
Letters,
good deal. I think the proposal was probably the best.
How'd you do it?
Really, you thought the proposal was the best thing you've done?
Anyways, I surprised her.
It's a very romantic proposal.
How was it a surprise?
She didn't know it was going to happen.
Every proposal is a surprise.
I never wanted to kill myself more.
That's what she said.
That was a good one.
Wouldn't it
I'll
be
give him 5 points for that.
Wouldn't it be psychotic if you tried to schedule a proposal? If you were just like, and on Friday, I'm going to ask you to marry
Let's
me. So
let's
make some time.
Steve Rant here. Let's bring this is the new segment. Steve's Rant.
And then we're doing Steve Smells, so don't even forget it.
oh, let's do Steve.
No,
Smells
do
right
Steve's
now.
rant, and then we're gonna do Steve
No, bring
Smells.
in Steve Smells because this could be a Steve Smells.
All right, this is an idea that I had. Steve, what? Because last
Wait,
week
someone's
we did
here to save our podcast. They called 911.
It's every episode.
Every
A
episode.
cop comes by with the sirens.
Guys, it's New York City. It's a common occurrence. Sirens.
I've never
happen
heard
a
a
lot.
siren unless we're recording.
Every time
Absolutely.
a siren goes by, you guys are like, I can't believe it. They've got something about our podcast. And it's like, it is a fucking crime-ridden
That's because you live in
city.
Brooklyn. We live in nice Astoria, where the Greek mob keeps everything safe.
That's right. Yeah.
So last week we did Steve Smells. He says
The Greek mob is called the Skewers.
Don't laugh.
Can you laugh into
If
the
you
mic?
laugh-
Because it's a
Sam,
quiet
if
laugh. They
you-
need to hear it.
If you laugh, he's going to do more of those.
But just know at home, I'm laughing because it's stupid.
That's the point.
Or yeah.
Can I tell you this?
Yeah.
I made a joke. So I make stupid jokes
Yeah, and I
for
love
my
them.
own amusement.
Uh-huh.
And if it gets other people, that's bonus.
Yeah.
Caitlin always loves it.
Yeah.
I met one of Caitlin's friends recently, and I did a really stupid joke. It made Caitlin laugh, and then her friend goes, "Well, one of you's got to be the funniest." And I was just like,
that makes me
I,
mad.
I
No.
think you should kill that friend.
Yeah.
I think
What's their
we
name?
should
Their phone
murder
number.
that
We should
friend.
we should dox them on this podcast.
and here they are. Bring them in. Get the swords.
Boy or
Friend-
girl?
Friend, if you're listening to this podcast, I hope you die.
No, they get another chance. Chance?
Well, you can give him another chance. I don't have to.
Yeah, I hate it because I don't know. I can't tell the difference between what like some jokes are just actually mean. You know what I mean? Like that was like a mean thing to say.
That was a mean thing to say.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I say mean things to you all the time, but they're not really mean.
Right.
You know?
You
Yeah,
mean
well,
them,
there's a
but-
I mean them. Yeah.
There's
They're
a
not mean.
familiarity, right? If you're familiar enough, you can say the mean
Right.
thing, you know?
And if you're not familiar yet, pull $20 out, give it to him. Go, here's $20, and then go. Someone's gonna be the funny one, and you go. Thank God, this $20 made me feel better.
And
That's a great thing.
Right. Give me
That's all I had in that
I appreciate
sentence.
that. Sam just rode over it like a school child
I didn't
in
do
a
anything.
in a school zone.
I didn't say anything.
That's what you should have said. Something you should have said. Yes, and.
Oh, yes, and thank you for that idea.
So what pegments?
What?
What segments do you guys have to save our podcast?
Well, we didn't finish the Valentine's Day thing. I wanted to hear about how you
Yeah,
proposed,
Steve Smells.
and then I'll tell you my
Steve's
propose,
rants.
and we got to do Steve Smells.
Okay. How I proposed?
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, like,
I don't know. Sorry, that was too much.
you know,
I don't remember this. I don't think you told me the story.
is this a bit where you don't remember?
I promise you, it might be Greg's a bad friend and forgot.
Okay. So Caitlin, my fiance, is a comedian, and I had heard the best way to surprise someone with a proposal is that if you're going to surprise them, is make them think they're going to something they actually don't really want to do, not something they're looking forward to in case that is better than you getting engaged.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Amy, who is the booker of New York Comedy Club, who has been a really good friend to both of us, and said, this is what I was thinking. We book her on a private gig, like a corporate one, which for people that are not in stand-up listening, those are sort of dreaded because you either have to be clean or, they're a little sterile in an environment and everything. So booked her at New York Comedy Club, East 4th Street.
Can I pause and ask a question real quick?
Mhm.
Quick
Wait,
question.
Can you what?
Claw you. Damn it. Well, I just learned that word today. I learned that word today, and I'm already working it in a rotation.
Wait, interrupt air horn.
So here's my question, and I hope you don't answer it. I mean, I hope you don't.
What?
In the story. Never mind. I hope
We
that I'm
should
not
start recording soon.
jumping the gun. Private gigs usually pay a lot. So I
Yeah.
mean, did you be like, "Hey, this is
So-
$5,000,000," and then she's like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah,
I'd rather
they
have the
do
money."
pay a lot. I thought I said to Amy, like, can we make it seem like maybe it's a favor and you'll pay her back with more spots next week or something? You'd be really doing us a solid if you
Right.
jumped on this show. But what I didn't know is how far they went on their end to make it believable, and the New York Comedy Club sends spot reminders
No.
with the pay, and she was going to make $50 or whatever.
Sure.
So regular spot pay. And they even put it on the website, private event. They made it look so legit on their end. It was
so nice.
It's so nice. And then when I got there, so many staff members wanted to be there that they even like made it look like in the front of house like it was a normal night. They made popcorn. We're making drinks. The place smelled like it always does because the popcorn.
It's gonna make me cry.
It made me emotional. And then Maggie was there and helped me block that little window that shows into the showroom.
Yeah.
With their merch. And then and then Reg was there, thank God, because I needed someone to block the windows going through the doors.
Right.
And then Amy was nice enough to put stand-up on over the sound system to make it sound like a show was already happening.
Wow.
And
is this Nate Bargatze's album?
it was we were playing
Cosby's here.
we were playing. She put it on like shuffle, and it was mostly Kyle Kinane, which I'm like, I really hope he's not playing when she walks in.
Right.
Then she's gonna be like, holy shit, Kyle Kinane's here,
And he's doing it word for word. This guy hasn't written a new bit in a while.
And then it's just me.
Yeah.
But and then Norman was playing too. So she we got it all set up. I'm there. I'm nervous.
What if she hears her own stand-up playing Caitlyn? Like,
Yeah, thank God she didn't have an album.
She's always going to remember the proposal by Norman's bit, like, oh, you say you like sex, but you're so hard to fuck. Will you do me the honor?
So she went to the wrong club.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
She goes to the wrong club, and
That's an easy fix.
Easy fix. She called a cab, came down.
And she's like, well, at least I'll make this spot pay to pay for this cab.
Gets to the club and is like freaking out because she's never been late to a spot at New York Comedy Club.
Right.
Doesn't know that the booker is in the sound booth waiting to watch her get engaged. So me and Amy are laughing.
It's so funny.
That it's like the one time she's late. And Reg goes, you got to go. You're on stage. You're supposed to be on stage right now. And they come flying in. And then there was a you know those electric comedy club candles?
Yeah.
We made me and Maggie made a path of them. And I was standing at the end of that. And then
naked?
Naked. With the ring. It's a big ring around me. And and then we actually had to use a hula hoop. But and then she comes in, sees me, and then she immediately like collapses her hands to her knees, like in that position, and then just looks at me and goes, "You piece of shit."
Oh.
And then obviously starts crying, and then comes over, and then.
Man, that's amazing. That's beautiful.
It was pretty great.
You
Are you getting
story.
emotional?
Of course I am. I'm an emotional guy.
Oh my God.
That's a beautiful story.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's so nice. Why don't look at me? You're gonna make it worse.
No,
I look away.
It means a lot to me.
No, I want to look. I like it. It's
No,
nice.
it was beautiful. That was beautiful.
And she
man.
said no, but it was still
like every time
great.
you have sex.
And then he had to go, please.
Oh, please marry me, Caitlyn.
I worked so hard.
That is far and away the funniest cry there is.
When they
you
they're
get it out.
You said that you wanted.
Do you remember crying that way? As
Yeah, I
like
still do.
sincerely? Where you're
I
like,
can't believe you guys got married at New York Comedy Club.
You guys didn't save our pocket.
Man, can I tell you that I always had this idea of how this is what gets me mad is I'm always a man of ideas and I never follow through. Sure. How I wanted to propose to my wife is not how I did. My plan to propose to my wife was to have her, because I used to work in ER, call my ER friends and be like, Tita, you need to come to the emergency room. Greg is here. Right?
I already love this.
Yeah.
Greg, what happened? We can't say.
And then when she gets to the ER, have one of my friends who's with the ER doctor be like, he collapsed on stage. We don't really know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And we got to show you the x-ray. As they put the x-ray up, they're pushing a stretcher with a person with she's covered, behind her, and if she looks at the X-ray, I would have taken an X-ray that says, "Will you marry me?" So in you do it in lead, so it shows up on the X-ray.
I have lead poisoning.
So they put up the X-ray, or put on the X-ray says, "Will you marry me?" She turns around. The dead guy is me. I'm in a tuxedo on one knee.
Wow.
Wait a minute. So she has her back to you covered.
Yeah. So they're
So
just
she
stretching.
never sees the covered body.
Well, the covered body is just to get me behind her.
Right.
So she just sees like someone is getting pushed behind her, then sees this. She'd go, will you marry me? And then she'd be like, "Was the doctor wants to marry me?" I don't understand because my wife's very slow. So she wouldn't understand what's happening. Then he'll say, "Come on, turn around." And she'll go, "What the hell are you talking about?" He goes, "Just turn around, you idiot." And then she'll turn around, and then I'll be on one knee with a ring that's very small. I don't make a lot of money. And
but you have a tuxedo and
well, yeah.
enough lead.
Or I swallow the ring so it comes in on the X-ray.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what I mean? So
Will
then
you marry me? This is gonna be in my shit.
you got a lot of digging to do.
Will you take this ring in 2 to 3 days?
Yeah.
If this ring doesn't perforate my colon. I love it. I like the idea that the doctor, something happened, there's an accident, and before anything, the doctor goes, "Something happened. Here are the X-rays." That's completely out of the order of operation.
Well, he wants to show.
But she'd be crying.
My enlarged
She'd be
heart. That's the
Then-
trick. You need to see a real surprise. You have to drop the floor out. You have to bring her to the lowest emotion, then to the highest.
my God.
You know what I mean? You want to break them and then save them. So now you thought it was the worst day of your life? It's the best day of your life.
I like this. That's why, for me, whenever I get engaged, the woman is going to go to the bank, all right?
Yes.
And somebody's going to be like, "Get the fuck over the and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared." And he's like, "Shut up, you bitch." And then fires a gun, and he's got little squibbies, I think they're called, where it's like, blood. And then I turn around, and before she sees me, I go,
Yes. This is what I'm talking about. My other plan was she's tied up on Epstein's plane, and
she's tied up.
then I come out, the thing goes into a nosedive.
Yeah.
And then I come out, ring and all, and then we go, "We're going to Turks and Caicos. Turn this thing around."
Yeah.
And then we turn it around,
My other idea was her getting pushed into the gorilla exhibit at the zoo.
Oh, this is huge.
And as the gorilla's charging at her,
They shoot it.
but it's me in a gorilla costume.
Oh, this is good.
And they
And
got
then
the wrong one.
They think that they shot me thinking I was a gorilla, but that the guy that shot me is really me, and
Oh.
they take off my face, and that's a gorilla in a Steve costume in a gorilla costume.
And who proposes, the gorilla or you? Or you as the
I
gorilla?
don't even propose. I just go, "Wow, I worked so hard on this, I forgot the ring."
He doesn't propose. He just goes, "Oh." That's actually.
I throw poop at her, and it's actually the ring.
We go to Ukraine, okay? We're in Ukraine. Tank
How
cannon
do
to
you
Tita's
get-
face.
How do you get Tita to go to Ukraine?
I tell her we're going to Ukraine.
And she goes, "Now with the climate and everything?"
Well, because we're going to do some humanitarian aids.
He's like, "It's not that hot."
Russian tank pointed right to her face. I fill the gun with rings. And it just shoots.
It's filled with ring. You get your pick if you live.
Yeah, peel them out of your chest.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You got to have another one.
Oh. Okay.
It's on you.
Uh,
Or we deduct.
She is kidnapped by the cartel after she witnesses a gruesome murder. Right. And then she is buried alive. and just when she's about to run out of oxygen, she hears the scrape of a shovel.
Yeah.
And then a pickaxe comes there and comes this close to her eye, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And then through that tiny hole, a single ring. I say, "I fucking got your ass!"
And
Tita comes home.
When your hand goes through, it blocks the oxygen just for a split second. She's still a pain.
Tita comes home, opens the door. Me getting pounded by a 6'3" Amazonian type male. She goes, "Oh my God, you've been gay the whole time?" He pulls out his penis. On his penis, there's a wedding ring. I go, "No, honey. Will you marry me?"
Wow.
Okay, we can wrap this up. Not the podcast.
That was a great segment.
segment.
That was That segment was just a riff. I don't know why I called it a segment.
That's a segment.
I'm just trying to save our podcast.
It's a segment. Save our podcast.
Segment, couch.
God,
What are you guys gonna
can you
do?
imagine how good this podcast is going to be when we all start getting confidence? You know what I mean? You've got confidence.
Oh, I'm back
From where?
from
Outer
the-
space.
I used to, I
Yeah.
used to be the most unconfident guy in the world,
Yeah.
and I want to do a segment called "How to Boost Your Confidence."
Well, let's bring it in.
I was a man crippling low self-esteem. No, just a little bit. It's quarterized in the closet now. It's still there when it comes out, but I no longer. I had this really nice message from this guy who told me, it's so funny. Oh God, I don't want to do this.
Why?
You ever you want to tell a story, but then you just keep finding more and more to say, and you're like, nah, now I'm overwhelmed. What I think you need to do, if you have low self-esteem, is you need to write down your wins on a piece of paper, and then look at them and realize that you have them, and then realize, see, I do not find myself attractive, but that's not what I bring to the table. I'm not an attractive guy. I'm funny, so fuck being attractive. So just count on your normal things.
I think you're a handsome man.
I'm funny. I got a big nose, and I have this neck thing. You just go, ugh, look at that.
Well,
Well, I can't again. How do I suck that in?
both. Yeah.
I'll tell you
How
how
do you go
you
to the
guys
gym
can.
too? How?
I mean, I have it too, but Caitlin has this thing.
Oh, the
Vibrating?
jade stone.
The Jade Stone.
What's the jade
You
stone?
gotta do it every day.
It was the original name for Green Lantern. But
And
anyways,
you scrape it along your face, and it drains your lymphatic nodes in your
And
face.
gets rid of my neck?
Yeah.
Supposedly, yeah. You're supposed to do it every day.
Is this hoity-toity bullshit?
no, because my lady has done it, and she's got the jaw of Jay Leno now.
Well, that is upsetting.
No,
Did she not?
she has just a defined edge to her.
There's
jaw.
all these goddamn rock scrapes on her face.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like she fell down a mountain.
But in a
edges
sexy
are great.
way.
You know, she looks amazing and beautiful, and I love her. But she has just this definedness to her, and I just started doing it.
Can I do a segment real quick?
Yep.
Called Joke I Should Have Said About 30 Minutes Ago.
Oh, I love this. 'Cause we're gonna need a different sound for that because I think we're all gonna be. All right.
When you were like, oh man, you got emotional? I should have been like, I always thought I had a chance with Caitlin. So that was
Damn.
a joke from 30 minutes ago.
Man.
That's good.
I like this segment.
It's a fun one.
Joke I should have said 30 minutes ago. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need it. Come as they come.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How comes I come? All right.
There's nothing funnier than that. There's nothing funnier than literally forcing yourself not to laugh just so you can bring
You
it
know
up.
what I already envision
What?
is this podcast getting past our 6-month goal
Yeah.
and the 10,000 downloads, and someone joining this podcast because they heard about it from other people saying you got to check this out, and then them writing, going, "What the hell's with all the bells?"
The bell. I love that the bells have 50 different meanings.
Yeah, we
Some
need,
do know
we
that.
need new sounds, but
That's fine.
I like it right now.
I said once, I'll say it again. I think we've already hit 10,000. I know that the podcast hasn't dropped yet.
Now this is the 4th episode.
This is episode 4. I bet we're at 40,000 already. You want to make a bet? We'll see. What number do you think we're at? At 4, episode 4.
If we're at 500, I'm thrilled.
Oh, we're
We're
definitely over 500.
Okay.
The Gregolites already have come through.
I like Gregolites.
I just love it. The Gregolators, usually.
Just to reiterate, because I like to reiterate about halfway through the podcast,
Yeah.
this is the premise of the podcast is, of course, we're trying to hit 10,000 in 6 months' time. If we don't, it's done. Greg saying he thinks we're probably at about 40K right now. Let's hope so.
I would say.
Yeah.
Also, is it weird for me? So we don't have a Patreon yet,
Okay.
but we will, I guess, at some point,
Okay.
right?
Yes. Yes. That may.
I already set it up.
Yeah.
We have to decide what we want to do on the Patreon. We don't have to decide now, I guess. I don't know why I'm bringing any of this up. All of this is stuff we should be talking about off air. And the weather is 37 degrees. I like to do the weather.
Actually, I think it's up in the 50s almost now.
Yeah, I made
It
that
is.
up because it's 6 months in advance. When is
Which,
it?
you know what we haven't addressed?
What?
Sorry. We haven't addressed how many of our investors keep calling us and leaving us voicemail.
That's true.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Yeah. Part of the reason. So, do you want to say it? Or
That was an aggressive point. That almost went up your nose.
Do you want to? You go ahead.
Well, so I think we were talking about this before you got here because you were late because care preemptive bell.
Day job, you know.
You're doing great.
You're doing great, and I don't even want to bring it up because we
Top out. You're doing great.
how happy you are. So this episode, this pod, so we have two layers going on. Is that this episode, this podcast, the free version, is about getting 10,000 impressions, but we probably need to start a Patreon for all of the people's money I've taken. I think you guys were doing this too.
Yeah,
About 2 or 3 years ago, we were like, we're gonna get investors, we're gonna get all this money, and
We took a lot of seed money.
We took a lot of seed money
Yes.
and really didn't deliver.
Yeah, and
so we got people coming after
These
us.
people want a return on their investment, and they're pretty unhappy with us. That's part of the reason why we only have 6 months, because we're running out of time.
Run out of time. 6 months. We're gonna have to run out of here.
Yeah.
Run out of the city. And so I've been getting phone calls, and I think that
I've been getting some too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll play maybe the first one at the end of this episode.
Okay.
We do the end or the beginning.
No,
We do it in the
right now.
beginning.
Do it right now.
No, I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna edit it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it with a phone like a schlub.
Okay.
We're gonna do the end of the credits, kind of like a Marvel movie.
All right.
You know.
Oh. Okay.
We play some voicemails at the end.
I got you.
Gets people to stick to the end.
Hey, Nick
Yeah.
Fury. He's
Nick
in
Fury.
Yeah, that's great.
So we get some. Also, am I a dick for this one? So I don't know if I should bring this up or not. I feel bad doing it, and I don't want to. So I had some people leave my Patreon. I kind of didn't. Okay, this is a little personal. I didn't put a couple episodes up for like 2 weeks, and we're in a transition period because I'm trying to do this, and I had a baby, and I have a new baby coming, and my wife has been sick, and then I went to Vegas, so I fell off a little bit, and I lost some Patreon subscribers. And I kind of just wanted to message them and be like, hey, listen, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate you doing that. Hate to see you go, but thank you. And all of them messaged me back like, oh man, I'm just going through it hard. And I'm like, no, I wasn't trying to make you feel bad.
Right.
I just wanted to like say thank you because
Sincerely,
I sincerely appreciate it. One person who was a big fan, who I like, said your heart just doesn't seem to be in the podcast anymore. And I was a little, because I was like, she is kind of right, but also it was like, yeah, I just had a baby, and I'm sorry that I didn't keep it up to where it should be. And I don't mind you leaving, but like, can't you just say that you were strapped for cash?
Yeah.
I know. But I would say like of the people who left, got those messages, 3 of them came back, and now I feel really bad. So I was like, so anyway, this has already happened. I started a new Patreon podcast that I'm recording. I'm recording it tomorrow, but this is 4 months later. So I recorded it 3 months ago, and I did a full podcast with my friend Darren, who's a doctor, and we're an ER doctor, and I put that on there to make them all feel better. I hope, unless something happens in the next 2 days, we're recording tomorrow. But that was the whole gist of the story, was to tell you how I feel bad about messaging those people when I wanted to say thank you, and then they all
Right.
So nice.
they all came back like, all right, I'll come back. And I'm like, well, now I know if I do that, they'll come back. So I don't know if I should say thank you anymore because it might bring them back. And if they don't want to come back, I don't want to make them feel bad. And there's another layer to this, which I apologize to keep going, which is back in the day, if someone stopped watching your TV show, you didn't know them all personally.
Yeah.
Now I see Patreon subscribers drop, and I'm like, oh, we were friends. And now you're gone. Like, it's so personal, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I also don't care anymore. It's like, no. You guys do your own thing. We're fans, we're friendly, and sometimes we'll go through stuff. But sorry, this has been a long rant, and I really don't know how to get it. I don't know how to get out. I don't know how to get outside.
Steve Smells. Bring in Steve Smells.
Steve Smells. What's your favorite smell, Steve?
I thought you were going to bring it in all.
I was, I guess, but I got nervous. Steve Smells. Well, last week you did a segment where the smells you hate.
It was what breath smells are the worst.
And I said beer breath, I hate it.
Right.
And I was worried coffee breath was bad.
So I thought a great segment would be Steve Smells, where he just tells us all his favorite smells. That's pretty good. That'll go viral.
His favorite or his
His
worst?
favorite. Steve Smells. Or what do you smell? What does Steve smell? Steve smells.
Yeah, what do you smell
Steve
right now?
smells.
I don't smell anything.
Right.
I'm going to smell something after whatever body function I had.
You ever smell a microphone? when they don't
People
wash
talk
it.
about
I
how
smelled
microphones
this one.
smells, and I don't think microphones smell.
when they're bad, they do. Like if they don't wash them, they do.
You're supposed to wash a microphone?
Yeah, usually to put like an alcohol swab over it or something.
A what swap?
Alcohol swab. Alcohol.
I'm not gonna say any of the names involved in this, but there was a story from one comedian that we know about another comedian we know opening for them.
Ooh, this
and
is juicy.
the
One
other comedian-
No.
About another comedian we know opening for
Okay.
them.
Okay.
And they said that after the first couple shows, they had to have the mic switched out
Wow.
because it was pungent.
Wow.
How do you even have someone open for you whose breath is that bad? I would just end that friendship.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
Not gonna say that. I mean, I'll tell you guys.
Just saying. Nate,
I would
that's
go
fake.
in before the show and stick a piece of gum out of the mic. So when they started to talk, all of a sudden they're
Keep
chewing.
it going for some of them.
I have a story.
Please go to the video to see that face.
Do the story, and then we'll take us out.
Okay, this happened, and I've been waiting all week to tell you, and I almost forgot. Doing a show. I'm doing a show, and sometimes I'll do a move where I'll time a fart with a big laugh so that I can fart on stage. It works. It does. You know.
You fart on stage?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta.
I don't think I've ever
I
farted on
haven't
stage. Yeah.
farted on stage at all. Also, quick idea I had, because I know your story is going to be longer than this idea.
Oh God.
A ringtone. No.
That hurts.
You got to hear this idea.
Okay.
You'll realize it just doesn't have a lot of fat to it.
Sure.
I think there should be ringtones for each person, but it's their sneeze.
That's pretty funny.
So when someone's calling you, it's just the sound of their sneeze.
I love that idea.
Yep.
Oh, it's
That's
the
all I
person-
have.
You have to get that person.
You'd have to get their sneeze.
Oh, I thought it was my own sneeze.
Do you ever hear somebody that has like a loud, like they just yell instead of sneezing?
Yeah, I love that.
Sneezing is the thing that I'll never not laugh at.
I wrote a,
Since I was a kid, I always laugh at sneezing.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried to write a joke about sneezing.
No, I want to sneeze.
Then I think it's so funny that like, because inside your body, it's like I forgot how I was trying to say it. It'd be funny this, but how it's like it's the most violent thing, and then people don't even acknowledge it. You're just
Yeah.
like, so I was going to the store. I got some milk, you know, and it's like you don't even
Yeah.
acknowledge what just happened in your body was fucking crazy. It's like, get us out of here right now! And then it's like, yeah, and so I got a coupon for Target. and bought it.
That's a great bit.
Did not work the time I tried it.
That's
but-
so dumb. Bring it back. Bring it back.
So I'm on stage and
Timing the fart.
I timed the fart, I farted, and I know because of a previous comedian that the people in the front row were on a first date, and I literally watched the girl look at the guy and go, ugh. Like, she definitely thought he farted. And I was like, oh, I can't
You should have
say
told
this in the middle of my act. I don't want to take my act off, and then the crowd will hate me.
Wait a minute. You farted and didn't acknowledge it, so there.
No, I
He
do.
times it with the laugh. So
I would laugh. No one knew I farted. And then
I thought you were farting for a laugh.
No.
You're farting and hiding it.
it was a silent fart. Yeah, it was a silent fart. I watched the woman in front go, look at her boyfriend like, ugh, what the fuck? And then, I don't know what happened, but the crowd all kind of was on the same page. I don't know if they were reading each other's energy. They all just looked at that guy like, they started doing like this. It was really bad.
You're
It
joking.
was really bad. And everyone just kind of
Where
looked
is
at that
this?
guy. No, it was at a bar show, and there wasn't a lot of people. It was a small little room, and I was not doing very well on
Yeah, it
stage.
sounds like you were sick.
I was feeling very sick. Reeks the room up to the point of I'm literally looking at like it's like 9 people in the room. We're all just going like, what the oh god. I'm watching everyone's reaction, and for some reason they were all linked up, thinking it was the guy in the front row who was definitely on a first date. I finished my last joke, and I just go, "Thank you guys very much. It was me who farted." That's it. And you saw the whole crowd go, "What?" Like they all were like, "We all thought it was the fat guy."
amazing.
I got off.
Good for you.
And I've been holding that for 2 weeks to tell on this podcast.
Wow.
So funny.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but dude, I can't explain. Like, they were all just like, yeah, no, it was definitely that guy. Maybe because the date's energy was like,
Yeah.
ugh.
I gotta tell you, I've been because I fly a lot. I get upgraded sometimes.
Yeah.
The past couple times I've been upgraded to first class, I've had the worst farts, and I just have to be like, I'm stinking up first class, and they know it's me. Because
They know it's you.
I'm the only one that doesn't look like he belongs up here, and I'm just air pooping.
But sorry.
I got Derek on air poop. Keep going.
I think that's a presumption, though, because anytime you actually, like, next time you go through first class, look at it and see if everybody in first class is who you think would be.
They never look like they belong there.
The woman next to me was making blueprints for a building she was making.
She was making it.
And I was doing blueprints right next to her.
Blueprint pause. She did it. She was faking the blueprints, so people would know. They would think she would do that. I've done that.
Sure, it was on an Etch-a-Sketch.
I think everybody has your strategy where they just do their job.
Yeah.
I think that's
I wrote on the top of my notebook lawyer thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting metric for how well a show is going. Your strategy, where somebody gets on stage, they're like, "Boy, that was a rough one." He's like, "You're telling me they could hear me fart?"
So I will say, I did time a fart at the Cellar once, and
The joke didn't work?
Joke didn't work, and I went, and only one person saw she was this 90-year-old Asian woman. Not really, but I like to pretend it was. And she just looked at me and went, "You're so not funny." Oh my God, why did I do that for? You're a flop. Well, I created a character, I had to do the voice. I know, it's trouble. It's trouble.
Why aren't you ringing the bell on that one?
Should have said the N-word.
Oh, God. We need to leave.
J.K. Rowling's.
All right.
Oh, you know what we haven't been plugging?
What?
Our own personal
Butts.
butts.
Plug our butts, butt plugs.
You need a butt plug, I can tell you that.
Yeah, how you doing, folks? I'm
Do you guys want
right out
to
here,
do
killing
an
that.
episode where we just have butt plugs in?
Can I do a marriage proposal? Like shoot a butt plug out and there's a ring on it? My wife says no.
All right. Tank cannon pointed right at us, filled with butt plugs.
Well,
We haven't plugged our own stuff on any.
our Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did last time. We did.
I don't really have anything going on.
Jesus Christ. Well,
Save our Sam.
yeah. This podcast, we're going to get 10,000 subscribers, and then we slowly change to keeping him from killing himself. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to make a lot of money on this, and everything's going to work out for you, soft hands.
Thanks. Spider.
So say this. I don't know when it comes out. I don't know when this podcast comes out, but I am recording an album in April. I technically don't have a date yet. By the time this releases, I should have a date. Should be in April. Should be at the Comedy Cellar. This is me calling all arms. Come to the show. I'm recording an album at the Cellar at the Village Underground. You can just message me to find out or go to the Cellar website. I need everyone there because this is the only way. Sam is clearly going to cry.
No.
Are you sad? My
No, okay.
Do you need something?
No, I'm good.
He
I'm
said
excited.
it's the other
Album's
shows
off.
go.
Album's off. Sam doesn't want me to do it.
No, I want you to do it.
I can't wait to see it.
Well, I don't know. It's in April, I think. So I don't know when this comes out.
I
But
don't know if I'll make it to April.
you can follow me, Greg F. Stone, on Instagram. And if you would like us, what I suggest you do is the minute you see us post something, comment on the Instagram videos.
Yes.
Because that helps the algorithm.
Yes.
And that's how you can help us get to 10,000.
Yes.
And we need, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
And what about you? Sam, we want to plug your funeral?
Yeah. It'll be later this year, I think.
Oh my goodness, Sam.
I'll record some funny videos for my funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who should we replace you with on the podcast when you're dead? Or just bring in his casket or something?
How about that
I really
wonderful
don't
Asian
care.
woman? What would she say?
I don't care as long as they're white, you know?
That's what I always say. It's about my ice cream.
About your
It's only
babies.
vanilla. I wish.
No, I've got shows. I post about them regularly on my Insta and my Twitter.
I've never seen someone spiral so fast.
I'm not doing well.
Well, the Patreon episode is going to be about whatever's going on with him. Tune into sadness on patreon.com.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you got? Go ahead.
Just follow me on Instagram, Steven Rogers Comedy, and StevenRogersComedy.com for my tour dates and stuff.
It's really Sam Evans at Instagram.com.
Yeah, SamEvans.com.
Send that guy a message. Let him know you thought he was funny.
Yeah,
Tell him you think he's handsome. He's lost a bunch of weight.
he looks
Bring
great.
it back on.
No, you're not. You look great.
This is Sam's segment, Undoing Compliments.
All right, fists in. To 10,000 and beyond!